Yeah, as I said today, hello everyone, welcome. So today we are going to work on what? Creating visualization using pandas. Okay, now for us, let us first of all feed our data. Okay, we have df is equals to df the input first, input pandas as pt, then df is equals to et dot width underscore csv file. We wanted to read the csv file. Okay, so now let us go on our desktop and copy. Yes, we are working today on country rating. Copy the parts. Okay, country rating. And when you paste it there, you arrow, read it as raw data, you run. So df, call df run. So this is country rating, various data. You have the ID, you have the name, you have the ISO3, you have the, now this is an abbreviation FGA, okay, Afghanistan, the abbreviation, okay, in the shorter abbreviation AF, Islamic. Now we have numerical codes, we have phone number, phone codes, we have capital, we have currency, and we did. So there are various countries. So if you scroll, you will see we have the time zone, we have the latitude, we have the longitude, the emoji. Okay. So now these are the various information. What are we going to do? We wanted to visualize this data. Okay. So let us continue. We have to say the words df dot plot. Let's plot and see on it. Okay, now by default, if you look at, right, we have visualized this data by default. We run df.plot. We have now id. id is represented as blue, and the blue is ranging from what? From 0 right up to 200. Okay, id ranging from 0 right up to 200. Then we come to numerical code. Numerical code ranging from 0, look at it, right up to 800, 100, because it is more than 800. Are we there? Because this is numerical code. Then if you have, you see latitude, it's showing that it ranges between what? 100 and you see it is ranges between minus 100 and 100. Between minus 1, this latitude, the green one, okay, is fluctuating at that point. Then you have longitude, the red ranges between minus 200 to 200. The red, this is a red, okay, the longitude. So we intended to visualize this data. Okay, now we have worked in out by default. Okay, if we now say, okay, the f at the same point, we'll come here, we fit kind, and we there is equals to what? Line. Kind is equals to line. You run. You see that it will still remain the same. It will still remain the same because by default, when you run either way, it's the same. Are we together? Yes. So the kind equals to line. It still remain the same. Okay, what about now? Let's say, okay, comma, title. Title is equal to country. Title is equal to what? Countries. Countries. With the capital letter. Okay. But at this point, when we fit title equals to countries, you see here countries are we together. Now you can write now that countries, we have now ID, numerical, latitude. You can write countries information. Information. Are we there? When you run it, you see countries information. Okay. Then now, when we must have done that, we still have another things that we have to still do again. Yes. Okay, now let's work now on subplot equals to true. Subplot, comma, subplot. Subplot is equal to true. Subplot is equals to true. Are you seeing? On this subplot now, this is my best. I love this one a lot. So on this subplot, we have now shared it the way that we are going to understand it more better. Are we together? So on this subplot now, we have now the ID. This ID is ranging from what? From 0 to 200. You see, from 0, you see, right up to 200. This is the range of the ID. Then we have now numerical code. Their numerical code. Their numerical code is telling us that what? It ranges between 0 and 500. Numerical code. So it is being now separated now in parts. It explains now the data now into various sections. Okay. Now we have now latitude. Latitude now ranging between now minus 50 to 50. Are we together? The latitude ranges between that range, minus 50 to 50. Now also we have what? Longitude. Longitude now ranges between minus 100 to 100. Are we together? This is when you be able to do what? You run it as subplot. Okay. Yes. So that's how it is. Then what can we still do again? Yeah. So at this point, we have done now. Let us move now on this other section. Okay, now let's now. Okay. Let's add something here. Are we together? Yeah. Let's add something. The subplot equals to true, comma, x label. Let's say x label, x label, x label is equals to x point, x label equals to x point, comma, y label is equals to y point. That's x label equals to x point, y label equals to y point. Are we together? So x label equals to x point and y label equals to y point. So we run in now. You will realize that, look at this point now we have label I decided to fit now the y level to be as y point. You can fit it as y coordinate. It depends on you. Okay. So all my y now has been labeled as y point, and my x now has been labeled as x point. I can still put it as x coordinate. Likewise, okay. But now we are working now on visualization for you now to see how to manipulate using now this various formula. Okay, last time we did all this, so we have to continue on visualization of data. Okay, now let us move also on df dot plot. Let's see, df dot plot scatter plot dot scatter. We have this. Let's see, x is equals to x. Let's take x. Let's take x equals to phone number. Or let's take x equals to name. Okay. So x equals to name. Then y. We take y is equals to, I think, longitude. Longitude, yeah. So df the plot scatter plot x equals to name, y equals to longitude. Then let's run it. Okay, now you see we have run the scatter plot. You see, this is a scatter plot. We say name versus what? Longitude. Are we there? Name versus longitude. So likewise, we can still run the scatter plot against what? Name versus latitude. That we have to change what? In this position of longitude to put latitude. So it just depends on what you wanted to do. But this is a scatter plot. Okay. So okay, now let us now say let's say C, let's say S, the size is equals to 100, comma S, the size equals to 100. I wanted to increase the size, okay, comma, and what? C is equals to, C is a color. I wanted the color to be yellow. You know, I love yellow a lot. Okay, then run it. You see, so you see now the size now the size has increased more than before, and also we have now yellow. So we can still change this to green. It all depends on your, yes, the color that you want it to be green. So you see, it's not that way difficult the way you think. It's just interesting, okay? Yes. So you just need to be interested also. So when something is interesting, you also need to be interested in order for it to what? To continue. Yes. In order for it to get. Yes. So we started by doing what? We started to import pandas as PD. Now we import our data. From then now we call the data. That is why we have seen this data description. Let me open this data. The data contains 250 rows by 19 columns. Okay, 19 columns, 250 rows, and it started for what? ID goes right up to the end. 19 columns, 19 of them. Okay, with the ranges of different countries and their informations. Okay, now we were intended now to see those countries and their information. So now we call df the plot kind the line. So now kind line, you say okay give me the title. You say the title, what is the name of the title? You say country's information. You give us, you say comma, you say okay we need the subplot to be true. Subplot not to be true, we divided it. Okay, subplot, that means divide this, means this thing into various part. Okay, so subplot to be true. Later on now we move now x label, as we say oh Panda please label me this thing to be x point and y point. So now we give now x label equals to x point and y label equals to y point. Okay, from there we were done with our show. Okay, yeah, so that is what I have for you today. Yeah, thank you. We are going to continue in the next class. Yeah, bye bye. Please don't forget to continue following up. We are moving somewhere. Yes, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Also continue